Good morning, everybody, and I'm in the potager, as you can see, and today I'm going to explain how and why I'm going to prune back my butternut squash. I'm actually going to do this. I've got a Sharon melon here as well, and I'm going to prune that back as well. So watch the video, find out why I'm doing it, and find out how I'm doing it. So in this bed, there's actually two butternut squashes and a very overgrown courgette, which needs a bit of work. I'll do that later. But I'm going to just talk about the butternut squash. So I'm going to prune this back because it's beginning to encroach. This is one plant. And that one there is the second one. I'm not actually going to touch that one, but this one is now reaching a space of about 3 meters, and because I've got the two plants, and I'll give you some news at the end of this video if you watch to the end, which I hope you do. I'll explain why I do not need that many butternut squashes this year. So normally we make a lot of soup in the autumn, and butternut squash is a particularly easy and versatile plant to grow. But we don't need that many butternut squashes this year. So I'm going to just reduce the spread of this plant. So keep watching and see how I do it. This squash here is about 7 inches long. And I've got another one. Beautifully formed, that one. Absolutely beautiful. And there's still some flowers on this. So because I've got this second plant here and it's got two nice squashes on it up there, I'll just go up here. I need to watch because there's a wasp's nest here, but there's a couple of nice squashes in there. So I'm going to leave that one alone, as I said, and I don't want this one encroaching too much, so I'm actually just going to prune that there. I'll just chuck that to the side. I'll bring my barrow round in a wee minute. And this one, I'm just going to remove that there. Now, why am I doing that? So, I don't need that many squashes this year. But I also don't want this plant moving into this area here, because I want this butternut squash to utilise this area. There's also a couple of self-seeded tomato plants which I'm leaving alone. They're nice cherry tomatoes, so that'll be quite nice in a couple of weeks. Lots of flowers on it. So just going to move over here a little bit, and I've got my gooseberries which are doing really well, and we've had a nice crop off of both of them, but this plant is beginning to take over. So I'm just going to remove this whole big branch. Now, one of the reasons why I don't want to encroach is that squashes tend to put roots down where their stems are lying on the ground. It's a way of supplementary feeding. So where you plant your squashes, your melons, they will start to root where the stem touches bare earth. It's a way of the plant feeding itself better, but I want the nutrition in this ground going into my gooseberries. So I'm just going to nip that off there. And you can see already how much I've removed, and I'm quite happy with that. So let's turn to the melon. So the melon. Now, this is the first time for me. I've never grown melons before. And you can see that there's a nice big melon there. Whoops. There's a nice big melon here. And another one here. So how many melons can I eat? Well, these two will probably ripen at the same time, but they're quite small, but they will get bigger. They like the water. So I'm just going to reduce where this melon's going. So this is making tracks over towards my carrots. Can't have them disturbed. So just going to remove some of that. And at this side, and I'll have to lift some leaves to show you, but this is my vine for my sweet potatoes. And I want my sweet potato to do well. I did them for the first time last year. It is under this tomato. That is where I planted it, in there. And it's doing quite well. So the plan is, take that one off as well. The plan is to train the vine of the sweet potato along here. Now, you know, plants, they don't always do what they're told. But I'm okay with that. So I'm just going to tidy up this tomato, because the sweet potato needs a bit of water, and we're in drought now here. We've had a month with no rain, and we're due at least another 10 days with no rain. So I'm just going to uncover where the sweet potato is so that I can water it. Right, so that's a bit better. So that is where the original plant was planted, and it's getting a wee bit more light now, and now I can see it to water it, because I don't water the whole bed, I just water around the individual plants. And I've tidied the melon up a bit as well, so I'm quite happy with that. So I mentioned earlier on that I don't really need a huge crop of butternut squashes this year, nor of melons. And why is that? Well, I have news. So we have accepted an offer on our house here, and the way that the French system works, we'll be signing for that at the end of August, and hopefully be moving back to Scotland end of October. Now, I will keep you updated on that. And whilst I'm keeping my garden tidy and neat, because I love my garden even though I'm leaving it, there's no point in me making stews and soups and whatever if we're moving house. So we're just encouraging enough to last us till the end of October. So that's the story. So you've seen me pruning. You understand why I'm pruning, for a regulated amount of crops and to keep the fertility in the soil there. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you're on your self-sufficient journey, I hope you find it useful. Please like the video and consider subscribing to the channel, which is free for you to do. And I'll see you next time, when hopefully the temperatures aren't as hot as they are at the moment, which is 36 degrees at 10 o'clock in the morning. See you later.